How you doing, guys? My name is West. Sorry, this is like the third time I tried to record this video. I'm not that very rehearsed with doing these. It's like the third time. Every time I try to do it, my the website would log off, and then I had to save a password, reset a password. It didn't want to remember my password, even though I know my password. But I think I got it all figured out now. So now, thanks for tuning in. This is like my second video I've done of what sold on eBay. I'm just gonna go through what list I have. I was originally gonna do it after I came back and pick my kids up from daycare, but they're gonna be running around the house and they're gonna want snacks, piggyback rides, and all that stuff. So I figured get it out of the way now. And this haul, this is just everything that I got. I think from local thrift stores. I think from bin stores. Just some stuff I either got from Facebook Marketplace or stuff I got from thrift stores. So it's not that too many stuff. I have bought some other stuff since my last video that sold, but the buyers asked me to expedite the shipping, so I just did it. So I didn't have time to make a video on it. Sorry if the video's a little bit shorter, but this is just kind of what I sold as of a few days ago, recently. So the first thing that's getting shipped out that sold is a military coat worth of parka. I got this from a local thrift store in my area. It was $5, which is actually kind of surprising. I was able to sell it for 40 plus shipping, minus the shipping and minus eBay fees. I probably walked away with around like $29-30 profit. Pretty happy about that. I was hoping I'd get more, but apparently I guess this is a discontinued. I figured since it was a discontinued version of it, that it would sell, I guess, higher. But I guess more newer military parkers are like selling more, or maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I just do my research right. But from what I researched, a lot of these were really selling for like $35-40. Maybe if I would have pushed it to 50, I just would have held on longer. But usually the way I like to conduct my eBay store is fast in, fast out. I don't like to try and hold on to stuff in the hopes that I sell it for a lot of money. So I'm happy with what I got. So probably around $30 profit that I got from this. Next thing is getting shipped out is 2 Polo Ralph Lauren button dress shirts. I found these 2 at Goodwill. I really don't like picking up. When I first started doing eBay selling and stuff like that, I used to think Polo, Ralph Lauren, get it, and it'll sell. For me as well. Maybe it's the pictures. It doesn't sell the craziest for me. It's different type of brands that you can buy that will sell well. Silk. Types of wool, that type of stuff like that. But like for me, I don't have the capacity to hold the house a whole bunch of clothing items in my garage or my house. Like I don't have a storage unit or anything like that. So like I said, I always try to get it in, get it out. So if I find something good that I know will sell, I'll sell it. For these, I saw the blue one at the Goodwill, and I was like, okay, nice. But I really was going to buy it because I didn't feel like holding on to something for like a week and selling for like $15, and maybe I get $5 profit off everything like that. Because usually that's how these things are. You don't sell like crazy unless if they're not brand new or with tags. These I noticed were brand new. They just didn't have any tags on it. So I sold it new without tags, and so originally I wasn't going to get any of them, but I saw they were both the same size. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get it and I'll sell it as a lot, which is a really a good idea for you to do if you see a whole bunch of Ralph Lauren stuff and you just feel like it's not going to sell, because it's always like abundance of people selling items that you see at Goodwills or thrift stores and stuff like that. So it's better to lock them up, and that's what I did. So I bought 2 of these. Both of these were like $4. So I paid $8 total minus shipping. I had to pay the shipping for $6 minus eBay fees. I'll probably walk away with like $25 profit. With these, which is really nice. I could tell they were brand new. It just didn't have the tags on it because the blue one still had the little plastic thing on it. And again, like I'm saying, I'm not a professional. I'm just a regular guy. That just does this on the side. So the photos aren't, it's picture perfect, which I like to try and keep it that way, just to let people know that you can do it too. It's like it doesn't have, and everything has to be perfect. But yeah. I sold these for like $35. What's next? Sorry if I'm rambling, but I'm trying to explain it to my best. These is probably one of the best sellers I had for the past 2 weeks. I bought these at a Goodwill, which is like this is the Left Behind series, the books. That's all at Goodwill. Really looking to getting like look at books, look at hardcover books, and like make sure when you go to Goodwill, a lot of people donate, or teachers and stuff like that. They donate like full series of books. These books were like $1.45 each on Goodwill. And I looked it up, and the series usually sold for around like $200 to $180, $190. And they sell pretty well. Again, my motto: fast in, fast out. If I see someone has listed the same thing that I have, like I saw a few guys, they had these listed, and they were selling them for like I think like $200. One was selling for like 180, and they had like 40 people watching it, which to me that means like you had it up for a long time, and a lot of people are just watching to see if the price goes down. So if I see that, and I see that you have the same item that I have, and it looks like it's been up there for a long time, I'm going to directly undercut you so I can get that quick sale, so I can go on to the next thing. So they had those listed up for like 180. I listed mine for like originally 150. It didn't get no one bought it for like a week, so I lowered it to 130, and somebody bought it like legit within like a few hours of me lowering it to 130. They paid shipping. I paid like $1.50, 45 for each book. For like I think it was like 16 books. I'm not gonna do the math. I probably walked away with like $100 profit. And here's the photo that I took. I probably didn't need to have the flash on, but I guess it's the little authenticity that I have. Let's see what's next. I bought this at a Goodwill. It's a Columbia fleece zip jacket. Usually I don't like getting Columbias because Columbias have let me down. I used to think when I first started thrifting that Columbias was like this high brand item that's going to make me a whole bunch of money because I've seen it all the time. And I grew up poor, and I always saw people wearing Columbias. And just because I couldn't afford it, I thought that it was like a luxury brand. So when I first started selling on eBay, I see a Columbia sweater. I listed for $30, and some Columbia zips and sweaters can definitely sell for like 30, 40, 50, even $100, like new with tags. But like for the regular quarter zip pockets, you're looking to make usually around like selling around like the 15 to 20, maybe $25 range. And for me, I had to learn to like kind of like play with the prices, because first I would sell them, I would list it for like $25 free shipping. No one would buy it because why? A whole bunch of people are listing Columbia's, jackets and stuff like that. So the price isn't really going to stick out. So what I learned to do is after I was scrolling through eBay and looking at what sold, a lot of people kind of like sold their items that was the same price as me, but they played with the shipping price. So let's say I sold my item for I listed my item for $25, and some other person listed their item for like $14 plus $10 shipping. That their average buyer isn't going to look at, they're not really, they're just immediately looking at like the first price that they see. So they see $25, they're immediately going to skip it. If they see something below it that says $14, and they might miss looking at the shipping until they are already at the end, and by the time they're looking at the photos initially after seeing $14, they might fall in love with the jacket. They see it, they like it, because a lot of times, even with me, if I'm scrolling through eBay looking for like something to buy, I see that price isn't how I want it, I don't care how it looks. I'm not looking at any more photos, I'm just going to keep on scrolling. So it's just kind of like a tactic that I learned that I've seen other people do. They kind of like make the initial price look kind of cheaper. So instead of them charging $25, they just say $15, $14.99. So it looks pretty cheap, and which kind of like sucks the buyer in. They look at the photos. I'm like, oh yeah, nice. I like it. I like it. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. And by the end, they're trying to add to cart. They see the shipping. They're like, oh, very well. Oh well. I like the jacket already. I kind of fell in love with it. So I did that same thing. Charged it for $15. $15.49, just to kind of like play with it a little bit. $7.99 shipping, which is kind of like which is that, like 23, 24, something like that, which is kind of what I was going to sell it for anyway. I bought this for like $4. I think it was like $4.45 from Goodwill. So I made around like minus shipping fees, probably like $15 profit. Not mad at it. If I was trying to hope I find another one so I can sell it as a lot, but I couldn't find one yet. But I'm happy with it. Next, I saw a lot of these. It was just Belleville 790 Gore-Tex waterproof combat boots. A lot of these are on Facebook. A lot of these that I just guy was selling these. He had bought these from an auction. He didn't know how to sell them. He just thought, he's gonna make some money with it, and it didn't work out too well. So he sold them all as a lot to me, and I've been slowly, kind of like getting them out of there. So these usually sell brand new, like in store for like, I'm not really sure, like I think like 100 maybe, but yeah. And lastly is a Tommy Bahama silk Hawaiian shirt. If you're gonna buy, some items initially that you think are gonna make you a whole bunch of money, like Tommy Bahama, that type of stuff. I always thought, I think it is a luxury brand, but some stuff that's really bad secondhand, even if it is a luxury brand. That kind of stuff is Tommy Bahama, because honestly, not a lot of regular people are going to go into Goodwill looking for a Tommy Bahama, because it's meant for I don't know, a specific class of people or a specific type of person, and it's not really a brand that a lot of people like lust and look for. So it sells very well firsthand in store, but secondhand doesn't do too well. I had this Tommy Bahama shirt, I think maybe 5 going on 6 months, which is really bad for me. But I've tried lowering the price to like 14, 13, 12. I've tried unlisting it, then relisting it, and I tried like doing all that. I finally said, you know what? I'm just gonna list it at this price and forget it. And a few days ago, it finally sold for $18 plus $5.91 shipping. It was like $23, $24, which is actually a pretty good profit. Sometimes you're just gonna have to sit on some stuff, and sooner or later, the right person is gonna come through and see it. Make sure though, when you are listing stuff, if you, I remember there was always, it was like a little mark on this, and I made sure to zoom it right on in, that there was an issue, like a little stain on the shirt. So it was a third photo. So I immediately attached to the buyer, could know that, hey, there's a little stain on here. And usually when I buy stuff that I see that is nice and I think it's worth it, I'll buy it if it's like a little stain. I don't bother trying to wash it. I try to be upfront as possible, because I don't want to end up trying to wash it, and out of nowhere I'm wiping off the material. I'm like discoloring the shirt. If I think that maybe the buyer can clean it, go for it. And I just say, hey, in the description there's a small stain that can probably be cleaned out as is, no returns. And that's how I usually sell it. So that's the same thing. I think I put it in the description. There's a small stain as pictured in the areas, just so the buyer can know. I made sure to put my the measurements. Excuse my hands. But yeah, and that's what's sold. If you guys have any other questions or have any advice you may need, just put it in the comments. I'll try to answer it. The next video I'm thinking about doing is just me going out thrifting, going out to the bin stores, and just showing you guys how I pick and source my items. That kind of like puts, like maybe teach you guys how to do this yourself. But yeah, total sales for all of this, right around $351 I made. What I got back, $284. If I had to guesstimate, I probably spent around maybe like $50 for the entire inventory. Shipping, I'll pay about like, most of the buyers pay for the shipping, so I'll pay like $50. So I probably end up coming around like $230 profit towards the big end of this. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I gotta go pick up my kids. I'll see you guys later.